Hi, good evening.
Good evening, madam. Good evening. Myself Niranjan.
Hi, Niranjan. This is Deepa.
Yes, yes. Nice to have.
Please call me Deepa, yeah. Could you allow me to initiate the video? I just want to make sure that the light is okay.
Okay. Amar, can you give that privilege? Hello, Amar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You sharing right to Deepa.
Okay. Okay. Is it visible on?
No, so
I think, yeah.
I cannot start the video because the host has stopped it. So could you just allow me to initiate my video, please?
Amar, त्यांना right द्यावं लागतील तुला.
Otherwise, add me as a co-host. So probably.
Yes. Make her a co-host. It will be easier then. Yeah, it is done, I think.
Okay, I'll just check. Okay, lovely.
Yes.
So is the light okay? I mean, if anyone can confirm, or do I need to shift the place?
No, it is okay. Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Just call me Deepa. Don't call me ma'am. That makes me feel very different.
Okay.
Okay, this is good, right? All right.
Yes. This is good.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we have few minutes, right? I'll just quickly get a coffee.
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
निरंजन जास्त कोण नाही जॉईन झाले का?
होतील ना, अजून 7 वाजायचे आहेत ना.
ओके.
कसं आहे, आता हे सगळेजण गडबडीत आहेत ना year end मुळे. So we are calling people and asking them to join.
मी पण आता मोबाईल वरनच आहे जॉईन. I don't know किती वेळ राहणार.
मी मोबाईल वरच आहे, पण I will be there.
Okay.
Just coming back. Mohan sir, namaskar. Good evening.
Good evening. अरे आमचा व्हिडिओ ऑन नाही होतोय.
होतो ना, नॉन अलगायला.
नाही होतोय, ते डिसेबल येते.
नाही होतो. झालं बघा आता.
ओके. तू असं कुठेतरी घालून ठेवतो लिंक.
नाही, मी काही नाही करत.
सो हाऊ इज हिअर एंड? आता कुठे फिरतो मग तू इतक्या मार्च एंडला?
मी औरंगाबादला गेलो होतो.
अच्छा. ओके. किती टेम्परेचर?
गरम आहे.
नॉट वर्थ मुव्हिंग ना?
नाही, असं काय नाही. आता काम असल्यानंतर काही पण करता येतं ना. काय पण दुबईला पण जातो ना गरमीमध्ये, उन्हात.
हो, बरोबर.
Hello, Mr. Mohan.
Yeah, Deepa ji, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. How are you?
Fine.
Pleasure meeting you. Now seeing you like face to face.
Yeah. We have been talking once or twice.
Correct.
Deepa ji, you are located at?
I'm in Mumbai, sir.
I know, but within Mumbai?
Andheri.
Okay. So Tushar ji is also somewhere Andheri only.
Yeah. Yeah. So we
I
stay like
requested,
5 minutes apart.
I requested Tusharji also to join.
Yeah, he did say that he's going to join. He did
Oh,
let
very
me
good.
know. Yeah.
And even this Vipul also is in relation with you?
Yeah, he's my cousin. First cousin.
Vipul Bhai is your cousin?
Yeah, yeah, first cousin.
Okay, okay.
I think he's also going to join, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have, he is also Arisian.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
Vipul Bhai is already Arisian.
Lovely. Lovely.
And I'll just quickly introduce since we have started.
Yes.
Anand is one of our trustees.
Hello, Mr. Anand. Pleasure meeting you.
Hello. Hi. Good
Hi.
evening.
Very good evening. Thank you for
Anand is in
joining.
the business of electronics and automation related things.
Okay. Lovely.
And Niranjan is another trustee. Niranjan is he's also in electronics and automation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Good
Nice.
evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Niranjan. Pleasure meeting you all.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for having me today.
Yes, yes.
No, we are grateful to you because we are getting connected to such a dynamic entrepreneur, dynamic lady.
Thank you.
Actually, truly speaking, I wanted this to be around 8th of March, but somehow we missed
I
it.
know, yeah, you mentioned it.
Somehow
But you know, I was speaking at almost 6 events on 8th of
no
March.
issues, no issues.
And then there was an award ceremony on 9th.
Yeah,
So, you know, was kind of tied up with that. So
yeah.
we'll do
I
it.
am slightly concerned today because year end is coming, na?
That is right.
So
That
all
is right.
SMEs are slightly over occupied there.
True,
So
true.
anyway, no issues. But
Yeah.
probably we will request you to join again.
Sure. Of course, like I've told you, right? That, you know, I mean, always enthusiastic to connect with people. You know, if it's even if it's going to help one person, I feel that the purpose served. So it's
Yeah,
very important.
no, and Vipul Bhai is talking very high about you. Tushar Bhai, anyhow, he was here with me, so he was talking. But Vipul Bhai said, whenever she meets me, she will keep on motivating me. And her
Yeah.
few words motivates me whenever I feel low, you know, when I talk to you. So he says it is fully inspirational.
No, it is mutual, right? Because
Yeah.
many a times, I mean, you draw inspiration from someone and then you want to give it back to someone. So that's how it helps.
And such a big awards and such a big recognition for you. It is really good. Really good.
Monji,
Yes, Niranjan.
yes, can we start with our ritual of national
Yeah, we
anthem?
should. Actually,
Yeah.
I was just trying to wait for Yogesh sir.
Okay.
So should I just make him
We
call?
should start.
And
We
we'll
should
start.
start. We should start. Yeah. I think
I just hold for a minute. I'll call him and then we'll start.
fine. Fine.
Yeah, he's just joining, but Niranjan, I think we can start with the rituals.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So Amar, can we start with the national anthem first?
Yes.
And then followed by that, Anand sir, you will give the oath.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I request everyone to be stand up for the national
Yes.
anthem, please.
Amar, any issue?
Amar, we are not able to hear.
We are not able to hear Amar.
I think, sir, there is some technical issue.
Maybe we can sing it ourselves.
Yeah, we will sing it ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा
विंध्य
विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना
यमुना गंगा उज्जल
कल
जलधि
जलधि
तरंगा
तरंगा तव शुभ नामे गाहे
गाहे
तव शुभ आशीष मागे
गाए
तव
गाहे
जय
तव जय
गाथा
गाथा
जनगण
गण गण
मन
मंगलदायक जय
जय हे
जय हे
भारत भाग्य विधाता
भाग्य विधाता
जय
जय हे
जय हे जय
जय
हे
हे जय हे
जय 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 हे भारत माता की
जय.
जय.
Amar, can you be able to display an oath?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can take this oath.
Yes.
I will just say, I am a responsible human being,
I am a responsible human being,
Responsible human being,
ready to support,
ready to support,
share and collaborate.
share and collaborate.
share and collaborate.
I will be honest in my actions towards everyone.
I will be honest in my
I
actions.
will be
towards
honest in
everyone.
my actions towards everyone.
I will enjoy my journey
I will enjoy my journey
Enjoy my journey
with a large heart and tolerance
with a large
With a
heart and
large
tolerance
heart and
with a
tolerance.
large heart and tolerance
towards Arise community and society.
towards
Towards Arise community.
towards
I'll establish
I'll establish
entrepreneurial brotherhood
entrepreneurial brotherhood
to strengthen my country and humanity.
to strengthen my
to
country and
strengthen my
humanity.
country and unity.
Jai Hind.
Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind.
Thank you. Over to
Yeah, I will introduce
Mohanji,
Deepa ji.
over to you.
Yeah, I will just introduce Deepa ji quickly and then we'll start her interview. Deepa ji is, kya main batau, I am extremely happy, Deepa ji, to introduce you. Deepa ji is having, just a minute, sorry, just a minute. Sorry, I had to take this call because it was from Dr. Yogesh. Deepa ji, extremely sorry.
No, that's fine.
Deepa is a business leader with 2 decades of experience in healthcare domain, and she is a homeopathic physician and INSEAD alumni, and now founder of D Cube Consultancy. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, and she's having a very, very big experience of QMS, quality management systems, which are absolutely, I can say, heart of the industries in today. If even if there is a small error here and there, those small quality things are checked. I mean, remembered forever. Prices are not remembered, but the quality problems are remembered.
That's right.
And I was told by one of my guru that quality is something whose absence is felt, presence is not felt.
Yeah.
That's what. So Deepa ji is mastering that. I'm sure we'll learn a lot from you about QMS and your overall journey. Deepa ji has developed, I think, first of its kind with an ISO 9000 certification for cardiac remote monitoring, isn't it?
That is right.
So I think she deserves a big hand. Wonderful, wonderful. And likewise, she has been very successful in core clinical global delivery network, and she has been, the Healthcare Businesswomen Association Luminary Award in 2019.
That's right.
She was also honored. Deepa ji is also honored as named in 2020 Pharma Voice 100 list. So this is something which is wonderful, wonderful, and the latest in your feeder is the most admired global Indians in 2021.
That is right.
That is something great, and I think many of the things will get maybe part of the things will get unfolded, because 1.5 hour could be little less. And given the current situation, her focus is to foster resilience in teams leads as she works as an very innovative with new ideas and creative ideas. And your focus is on skills rather than the roles.
That is right.
So I'm sure all these things will definitely help us. And quickly, you can tell a few more things about yourself, and then I will start with the questions.
Sure. First of all,
Dr. Yogesh has joined.
Yep. I was facing some network issues, and that's exactly why I got delayed. Apologies, Deepa ji. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Finally, I had to log in from my mobile,
Okay.
but I'm here. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Pleasure.
Deepa ji, Dr. Yogesh, I just said about it quickly. Recently she has got the most admired global Indians award. So I think she deserves a big round of applause.
Thank you so much.
And we are grateful that you are here with us. Now I'll just you share a few more things about you, and then we'll start. Then Yogesh ji will start asking you the questions.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you, Mohanji, for having me here, and thanks to the Arise team, because I believe that every time when you talk to a new audience or new network of people, there's always mutual learning. And I'm one person that I believe that you learn throughout your life, and you learn from every person and every environment. So I definitely feel that this is my opportunity because there are so many learned people with very good experiences. So appreciate having me here. Secondly, like, you mentioned that, yes, I'm a very proud homeopathic physician. And, I did different things in my life. As life went on throwing challenges, I believe that I went on picking them up. And some of them were good challenges. Some of them were not that great. But, so they say that sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So I feel that's what has happened with me and different challenges. Now I am at a stage of my career where I felt that I wanted to give back also to the society. And that is why, you can do that if you're outside of the corporate environment and you're doing your own work. I mean, today, all of you are having that satisfaction of giving back because you're learning your own entrepreneurship. And that's what I kind of moved into in the last 7 to 8 months. And it has been a very interesting journey because the flexibility that it gives, and the key that a leader requires is an agileness to kind of move and change as per the environment. So I feel that it has been a great journey. I've learned from many people, and I'm here to share it with all of you. So thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I think this conversation is going to be interesting. Let me also tell you that while this conversation is happening, we will be putting this conversation on our website that many in future can listen to this. And more importantly, as we the intention here is that the good word keeps spreading. So that's the whole process that we all follow. And first of all, thank you very much, Mohanji, to anchor in between, because it was my role to start off and he just juggled it, but that's what he's good at, and I really appreciate that effort. So Deepaji, let's begin with this. Typically, would you be able to tell us from the journey of homeopathy to a journey of the corporate life, how was that transition? What were the key pointers that made you to shift things?
Yeah, so I think that it was very interesting when I was in my school time. I kind of went to one of the homeopathic physician, and I had some fever. So I went and I suddenly realized as a early teenager that here is a physician who's showing a lot of interest in my history and is interested in my experiences. And at the same time, I get some sweet pills to eat. And I thought, wow, this science is nice. Someone gives me time to listen to me and then give me medicines which are not bitter like the allopathic medicine. So I think at that point of time, I decided that, I would like to become a homeopathic physician. And I was very much focused on that. I believe that, you kind of start making efforts to understand what is required to go there. When I did that, I did become a homeopathic physician, and then I went to some government hospitals like Baba Municipal Hospital and Cooper Hospital to learn the emergency tricks, examinations, to make sure that if any patient comes to me tomorrow, I don't have to tell them that, okay, I'm a homeopathic physician and I can't manage an emergency, because at the end of the day, I was a physician. So I want to say that, yes, I was really focused, and friends used to make fun that she eats, sleeps, and drinks homeopathy. So I was really very close to my science, and I've seen some very good results with it. But then the reality and the hardship started falling in, as a homeopathic physician, I took some real long time to set up my clinic. I took some time to start earning money, and I took definitely some time to gain that popularity which a physician gets almost 10 to 12 years into their practice. So I realized that I was practicing more in government hospitals and charitable clinics because I was not having enough patients in my own clinic. And then I kind of got exposed to the corporate world for the first time. In fact, it started with me teaching in Sukhsagar classes for medical transcription. And I started realizing that, okay, this is related to medicine, so I'm not like breaking any paths. And then when I was teaching at Transcription Center, I played a role in starting a startup, which was focused on medical transcription at that point of time. And I had no clue about what is a startup. I just knew one thing, that I want to start up these classes and I want to have people trained in medical transcription. And that led to my first corporate job. So I would say that, yes, the transition was not willing, because I felt I was an ardent homeopathic physician and I've spent 5 years studying this, so I should practice homeopathy. But at the same time, I realized that the reality of life was that I wanted to be exposed to more people. I needed visibility, and I wanted to make some money because, as someone who is in her 20s, you want to make some earnings. You want to fulfill your dreams. So I said, okay, let me understand what is this. So then I went into the corporate job, which was focused on doing research and development work for new medicines. So I feel that was a transition, lot of anxiety, because all my peers had some MBA, either they had hospital management, they had business management, and I was there feeling that, oh my God, I know only homeopathy, right? But, and that was at the age of 30 when I jumped into the corporate world. And by the age of 30, there were people who were heading the countries and here I am joining a new organization as a manager in operations. But I think that it was the need of time. And the first step when I took, it was not that I loved corporate world, but I was happy that I'm playing a role in future of medicine, being a homeopathic physician. I was still running my clinic, and it was a completely new environment. I was totally scared. I felt challenged. I felt singled out at times because you don't know how you work. And at that point of time, when the first time I sat on an international call, so there were 10 people from different countries. And I'm telling you, Yogesh ji, I'd never seen a telecom in my life. I never knew that 10 people from different countries can talk together. This I'm talking about the 1990s. And then accent you don't understand of people, right? Because they talk on all in different accent. So that was a big challenge. How to behave in a corporate was a big challenge. How will I grow in this corporate was the third challenge. But I think that you just face your challenge and then you see possibilities. So I think that was the transition, primarily to make my financials better. I mean, I'm being very honest and transparent here. But secondarily, you start enjoying what you're doing, and that gives you more exposure. That also helps you to increase your clinical practice, and it gives you confidence that you're playing a role for tomorrow's medicine.
True, wonderful, very nice. So there is, of course, what I have learned over a period of time is there is nothing bad in making money, and you had the similar motivations. I think people who will listen to us in future also through the recorded, and also who are listening to you live, they should make peace with themselves if they want to make money. So I think that's one of the learnings that I'm taking from it. Right. Second, I think. When you look back in your journey, those changes that you made, moving from a place of, just give me a moment, moving from a place which was more government in nature to the corporate in nature. What is the transition? What is the cultural transition that you see you saw in both these setups?
So no, if you have ever experienced a government hospital or any hospital for that matter, there is clearly a hierarchy, so there are 3 levels of hierarchy. One is this DM consultants, so who are a cardiologist or a radiologist or an orthopedic. Then they have a registrar, okay, and then they have a houseman. So houseman is like on the lowest grade.
Absolutely.
Okay? And the houseman will always say yes to everything. Okay, I mean, that's how we are tuned. Okay, that's how we are cultured. And no one will dare to call anyone by the first name. Okay, so that is the biggest difference. That no one is going to answer back. No one is going to express their opinion. And no one is going to explore something new than what the consultant is telling. Okay, so I go from that environment to a corporate environment where I'm dealing with the global people who first of all calls you by your first name. Okay, and probably that's why when if someone is going to call me madam now, I get very nervous, because I kind of feel that, okay, oh my God, now that hierarchy thing is going to come, which I'm not. I think that I have kind of worked through it and I don't want to get back to that. So I think that was the biggest impact that you see. So, and fortunately or unfortunately, my first business in the corporate, I was running a global cardiac safety lab. And in that cardiac safety, we were evaluating cardiac diagnostics like the ECGs holders from clinical trials across the world. Okay. So we used to have these readings and we had 3 levels of readers. And the first one were the house physician level, the second one were the registrar, and the final sign off for the consultants. So I think the biggest thing for me was to break that culture in my unit, because everyone would call Dr. Deepa or madam. So for me, when you do that, there is nothing wrong in that. It's our culture. But what happens, unfortunately, is that the people who are on the higher hierarchy feel that whatever they do, nobody's going to question them. Okay. And they create an environment where nobody, even if they have a good idea, they're not going to talk about it. So I had to bring an environment where everyone felt free to talk about their knowledge, to express their new ideas and be innovative. And I think that it was difficult in the beginning because the biggest difficult was the higher-most consultant, because they would not like to be called by their first name because they have always heard sir, sir, sir. And, they would expect people to take a pen and the ECG to their desk to say, okay, can you sign this? And I felt that this was not the right culture because these are my physicians, these are my team members who are going to talk tomorrow to the medical directors in the pharma company. And if we are not able to talk to our internal consultants, we'll not have that freedom of expression. It will not give us that confidence. So I put a box over there and I said, anyone who calls madam or sir is going to put a 100 rupee note in this box. And then we started celebrating with that money at the end of the month. But then that kitty started going lower and lower and lower and lower. And I think that that was the biggest difference that I saw. The second difference was the language. How do I understand the accent English? Many a times, I don't know how much similar problem people face in today's age, but I'm talking something about 25 years back. So, other than the Star Plus and the Oprah that was coming on our TV, there was no other exposure at that point of time. So I started watching a lot of English movies without the subtitles because I wanted to get used to that accent. I started reading Economic Times in front of the mirror very loudly because I know one thing, that when you are challenged, change is always challenging and very fearful. Okay. But if you don't accept that fear, the whole world will move. But the moment you accept that fear and you say, okay, this is what I need to work on, you can work on it very well and you can be very confident. So this is a principle that I've learned at that point of time, that whenever there's a different thing to do, I'm very scared. And I'll tell you, I don't want to hide it, because I feel that it proves that I'm a human being. So I always tell myself, great, you're still a human being, that you're feeling scared. I still have butterflies when I'm talking to an audience like today's. It's not that, okay, I've spoken 100 times, I don't have butterflies. I have butterflies. But I feel that important is to accept that and then work on that. And when anyone is going to do that, it will help them to give them opportunities to get better. The first time when I was on that international call in that organization, I was shit scared. And why was I talking? Because I had nominated someone from my team to get an award. Okay. And they said every line manager has to come and talk that why they want to give this award to this person. And for the first 15 seconds, the voice was not coming out because I'm seeing all the Western people there. I'm seeing some South African senior vice presidents there, and the voice was not coming out. I was like scared. Then I told myself, okay, but you have to speak because this is for your team member, right? I mean, how can you let the person down? So I took some time. I told them, oh, this is my first time that I'm speaking to such an audience. So I'm nervous. So please give me 5 seconds. And they gave me 5 seconds. And then I think I was confident. So I would say that these are small things. They go a long way when you're making changes. And that is why I tell myself and I tell my teams that, face your fears. The moment you face your fears, you will see hundreds of possibilities. And then work on those possibilities with passion. And then definitely you will succeed. And success is what you define. Don't allow anyone else to define your success, because that's when we go bad, we go wrong. So I feel that is what I do.
Wonderful, very nice. I mean, this is so much to learn from for everybody who's listening to you right now. I have a set of the way you looking at it. It also tells me about the orientation that you have. We would definitely want to know. Now that you've grown in your career and stuff like that, how did you manage this? House versus career. How did you do that?
Okay. So, people might be thinking that I'm talking a lot many in proverbs or sentences, but it is something that I have learned, okay, that life is all about the choices that you make. Okay. It is very simple. So when you make your choice, okay, and when you do that with passion, there is no need of balancing things. Okay. So what I really do is that I tell myself that, okay, this is what you're going to do today. You do it with passion. So you will not need that whole old phrase of work-life balance. Because when you love something that you do, and when you do something with passion, you don't need that balance.
Correct.
You might be thinking that, oh my God, she's always sitting and she's always working, or oh my God, she's always in her house. But I feel, but that is my passion moment. And that is what I love.
Sorry, Deepaji, I'm interrupting.
No.
ये word to word Dr. Yogesh का thought है.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And he has been telling us the same thing. That is why I interrupted. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. That is absolutely, there is a reason. Probably you don't learn this on day one. You get beaten up, because what happens is that when you're growing in your career, you listen to people's opinion a lot, because you convince yourself that, oh, they are successful people, so I'm learning from them. Oh, feedback is very good, so I'm taking feedback from everyone. But one day my mother told me something which was very, very interesting. She was also an entrepreneur. She did a startup in beauty products. And it is very funny that me at the age of 19, I went to homeopathic medicine school. And at the same year, my mother was 49 and she went for Ayurvedic medicine school. So we both were becoming doctors together. So I feel that there was a lot to learn from her. And she always told me that feedback is very important. Okay. But remember in your mind that feedback is not the truth. So keep that in mind. Because everyone who's giving you a feedback is from their perspective and their experiences. So what you are experiencing is unique to you, right? So listen to feedback, learn from that, but do actions for which you can take ownership. And I think that has really helped me a lot because I feel, okay, I listen to everyone's experience, but then I do what I am enjoying, what I like to do. And then the question of how do you balance yourself? How do you, and sometimes, you're juggling. So, I mean, just compare it, right? That I'm sure all of you have seen the juggler with 10 balls, So our life is like that. So there are some balls which are metal balls. There are some balls which are rubber balls. And there are some balls which are glass balls. So in our life, probably sometimes your health, your mental wellness, your family, your friends, they are glass balls for me. So when I'm handling them, I'm very careful. Okay. And I do know that work, money, all this is more like a rubber ball. So if sometimes I drop it, they'll bounce back. I'm sure of that, but they'll not break. So I think that's how I juggle, that you need to realize what is the glass in your life at this point of time. Make sure that you don't lose balance with that. But then there are things which will bounce back. And if they don't bounce back, they were never meant to be. So that's okay.
Wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. No, that's profound. And the expression was beautiful. I think this will stay with a lot of people in the people right now who are listening to us, and of course with me too, because such a beautiful example of how do you actually balance things. See, fundamentally, I mean, that's what my perception is. Fundamentally, you have to balance, but the point here is, what do you want to balance is the choice that you have. Right. And when Mohanji said that, this is exactly what I say, because I firmly believe there's nothing bloody called as a work-life balance.
No, there is
There's
nothing.
nothing called as that, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a fad that the Western world has given us. We are people who believe in karmas. We are people who believe in kriyas. If you keep doing the kriya that you're supposed to do, things will happen fine with you.
Yes.
So that's the basic thing, and I'm so happy that I have somebody who shares my opinion on this, because I have to struggle with this opinion with a lot of people, by the way.
No, you don't need,
including sometimes Mohanji.
I always tell that if it makes you happy, then it is the right choice, right? It's not about others' happiness, it's about your happiness.
Correct.
And you need to take ownership.
Absolutely. So what that leads us to your journey as a human being, because if this is the orientation, growth can be delayed, it cannot stop you. If this is the orientation of a human being, and being a person who's worked only with people, I have realized this fact that there is huge amount of orientation that makes and decides what kind of human being you're going to become in future, whether commercially or socially. But while you go through this journey, there are hurdles that you face, and at every given point in time, while we say there is a choice, it's a beautiful statement to make, but to act on that choice requires something. So what is that required something in you?
I think probably many a times what I love to do is getting into the groups, which is very important. Because if I feel that I am attracted to a change, so I'll give you an example that when we started the ECG lab in India, it was the first in this part of the world. Okay, so there were no ECG centralized lab in this part of the world, and everything was on the Western side. And people said that how can we trust Indian cardiologists or physicians to sign off on our data? So I looked out for the data, that what is the benchmark, but there was no data over there. So what I did was that I started with some research work within my team. Okay, I said that, okay, what is the difficult, if it sounds difficult, but let us prove some data. Okay, never just go and say that this is what you need to do, that is what you need to do, and make a choice. No, I do make my choice, but like I said, that you need to first work on the data of that choice. Okay, so when this ECG lab thing came, we asked the people to do a lot of research work, and we wrote many papers. Now, none of the other Western labs were writing papers, right? So they were just talking about the fad, like you need to have work-life balance. And nowadays, the biggest thing is the women of color and the gender parity and equality. And I always have this fight with the people. I was just telling Mohanji that I spoke at 6 to 7 events on International Women's Day. But my opinion is that on one side, if women is saying that we are equal to men, then why do you need a different day to celebrate? I just can't understand that. Because and then people say we need to have a seat at the board, And I have seen so many women, one of us, even I would have done sometime, is fighting and saying that I need to have a seat at the board because I'm a woman. And my argument is that no, please women, do your homework and go and say that I need a seat in the room because of my knowledge, because of what I bring to the table. And that is definitely comparable better than the other men or other women. I don't know. So I would, so that's where the whole idea is, that when I pick up my choices, I work on those data. And sometimes the data proves that what I'm very comfortable in, where like, okay, business is running fine. We were doing very good. Then why do you need to change? But the whole idea is that if you don't change, then someone else is going to make you change. Okay, so why not look into the data? Why not look around in the environment? Have some proof of concept and make the change, be the lead. Why do you want to follow a crowd when you are forced to make that change? And I think that is one thing where I have struggled every time that I have made a change.
But I think I firmly believe that's the first step. Any movement that you want to make it happen is somebody who envisions it, believes it, and then in the process of making the rest of the world believe in it, he struggles. As simple as that. And then he gets habituated of doing that, and he keeps doing that, right? So that's the change process anyway. So very, very nice to hear this. I really second this thought. I touched my mother's feet this time on Women's Day, and I said, when was the day that it was not your day? So for a simple reason, because I firmly believe it is every day is a Mother's Day, and every day is at least a wife's day is 100% every day.
Okay.
No, seriously, I mean, these have been my thoughts very, very clearly to all the friends and all the girlfriends that I had.
Is she listening? Your wife?
She's there. She knows me for last 20 years now. She has no choice now but to listen to my straight talks. Right. So, oh, wonderful. Naga, congratulations. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to your mom. Happy birthday to you. Please ask her to give me blessings as well. So fundamentally, yes, I think this. I was listening to somebody, and I'm just sharing this thought with everybody. I was just listening to somebody, and the way it was defined, that what do you mean by women are equally capable, is at the intelligence level. So typically the comparison is happening at the physical level. Maybe the comparison needs to happen at the intelligent level, right?
Yes.
The intelligence level. I'm strongly a believer that women are far better rational than men.
No, not even that, that's
biologically they are built to become rational. You see, they're built to become rational. So unfortunately, yes, we in the past they were not given enough, or they did not get enough opportunities. And I think it's changing.
It's just that we got in the race a little later.
Correct. Or else you would have beaten all of us hands down anyways.
Absolutely. And that's why I say, that I work on skills rather than roles and designations, because I feel that, it's always better to work on your strengths. I have heard all my, I would say, coaches and mentors telling me that you have to work on your negatives also. Okay. But the way I look at it, that, I rather spend my energy on my strength. Okay. And whatever is my negative, I will include in my team. So as a team, we are complete, because I feel that is more important, that you recognize where your strength is not there, and don't get threatened if you need to bring in someone who's going to complement that for you, because then you will grow better. So if this is the fundamental thinking, then that is where the thought comes that why do you need a men and women differentiated? Because together we are Eka, together we are one. So
Correct.
that I feel that we fulfill each other's blanks. And instead of comparing who's better and who's not, it is always better to say that, okay, these are my strengths and what strengths do you bring to the table so that you are complete team and you can succeed.
I think this is a very good learning that all of us can pick up, is when we want to hire talented resources who are probably more capable than us. How do we get them on the table? And I think as entrepreneurs, all of us, we run our teams. We have 50, 100 people working with us. We sometimes shy away from hiring talent that is required, and we shy away from it because we calculate all of it directly to the financial aspect of it. कि यार
Yes.
मैं खुद 1 करोड़ नहीं कमा रहा, इसको कहाँ से 1 करोड़ की सैलरी दे दूँ ना. But if I really rational it, if I really look at it in the long term, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years perspective, the man is going to replicate the profits and multiply it for me, which apparently as SMEs sometimes I think we fall short of that understanding. And
Yes.
I think what you've thrown the idea on, that if what is the person bringing on table and what's the value that he's bringing on the table, and then remunerate him fairly. I think we can build far better teams as
So Yogesh, I so hope that my brother is listening this, because this is one argument that I've been having in my family, within my family. So just for everyone's knowledge, he's an entrepreneur and he's running his own business, and he always is hesitant to get a highly paid talent in his team. And my argument with that is that, see, tomorrow, if you're making X, bringing that person, probably you'll make 3X, and then his salary, he'll himself pay you out for his salary. But what you will come across as much stronger team and much better industry you will be able to set up and give back to whatever industry you are serving to. I think the other key point is that people are threatened that what if I get a smarter person than me, because he'll learn from me and he'll start his own business, and then I'm going to lose my business. And I always believe that, yeah, but if that intelligent person is going to be a part of the industry, just think of it that you are going to communicate at least with one sane person rather than having everyone who's just competing. So I do believe that, we should encourage talent. We should take people who threaten us, because that will also make our edge very sharpened every time. We'll not get complacent that, हाँ चलो ठीक है, I've done good and I'm making, गाड़ी चल रही है, पैसा आ रहा है, बैठो आराम से, no changes. I had some people in my team who always said that, if your bread butter is happening, why are you jumping so much for a jam? And sometimes such risk-averse person are also good, because they'll tell you what is the risk in changing, and then you can better plan for that risk.
True. So at least here, while people are listening, people at Arise have come over that fear कि कोई talent ले लूं तो मेरे को replace कर देगा. तो इस डर से तो निकल गए हैं सारे. But दूसरा step नहीं, बहुत लोग हैं जो दूसरा step नहीं लेते. उन्हें अच्छा भी लगता है इंसान, वो सही competent भी है, पर जैसे वो checkbook देख लेते हैं वैसे रहने दे, बाद में करते हैं. And that's where I firmly believe that all of us need to improve on is our strengths on our ability to take risk on people, because people are the only profit multipliers. I call them as P is equal to profit multipliers. So absolutely. that's people is equal to profits. If you of course give them right environment, give them the right tools to work and engage them well, I think job is done. I think a few of the organizations who have grown in the past 5-6 years, we have seen that happening in the community as well. So yeah, we second this thought 100% that people are, and if your brother is not listening to you, he should be able to listen to a community that is called Arise.
Okay.
Do ask him.
I'm sure he'll shift. He's shifting a bit.
Yeah,
but I know that it is only because I'm 100%
sure कि यहाँ पे इतने लोग तो तेज है कि बदलाव कर ही देंगे.
चलो बढ़िया है.
Right, so that's how it is. But that takes me to the next question.
Sure.
Have you ever faced this bias of being a woman on the table and still performing, but still had to let go of certain things because of certain, because we all go through this politics. More importantly, in MSMEs, this politics, the whole victim of this politics is the entrepreneur, because he's hardly in the politics. There's people around him who are doing politics for
Correct.
their own sustenance. Like in corporates, the top class employees do. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how human nature is. When they will
Right.
come together, they will bloody gossip. But the
Right.
fact here is, how did you deal with it?
So, so I just want to give a little bit of a brief here from the background that I come. So in my family, it's me and my older brother. And my older brother, because of whatever reasons, he went into an only boys school, okay? And it was a Gujarati medium school. And then I am coming in, and probably they spot some smartness, and they were closer where it was possible for them to put me into an English medium school, which was a co-ed school, right? So there were a lot of questions asked 52 years back to my parents, that your elder son, and he's only in boys school, and your younger daughter, and she's a girl, second child, and you're putting her into a co-education, that also English medium. So they were really forced to change the school, okay? But I think that my mom and my dad stood their step, thinking that these are our children and we will kind of. So I do believe that in my house, within my personal environment, there was a lot of safety net. There was a lot of promotion, that people need to be given exposure on the basis of their strengths. Probably I learned it from there, that it is always better to focus on the strengths. And then I come into the school, and then I come into the corporate world, and you definitely see this bias. The biggest bias that first time that I saw was as a homeopathic physician. So we go to these government hospitals and we do our internship. So, internship is like free charge. I mean, you're like they've got the bakras and they want to use it, and that's fair because you're learning, right? But we had MBBS interns also, and now you have homeopathic interns also. So there's always a discrimination and a bias understanding that homeopaths to meeti goli hai, unko to kuch aata nahi hai emergency, and MBBS, even if they have not studied, but I mean, they are modern medicine. So I think that I really had to work probably a little bit more hard to prove that a physician is a physician and they are equally good when the focus is to manage patients. And then fast forward 25 years, I mean, the role that I was doing. So I was working in the corporate industry. I got this accolades, and I kind of made a lot of changes within my organization. I held very senior positions. I brought a lot of financial benefit to the organization. But then there was a bias that happened because, I got nominated for some recognition, and a very, very, very senior white man from years and white, and you are a woman of color. They couldn't take that. And someone in the organization got threatened. Okay. So they kind of made it sure that I am not going for the award. I'm not talking on any platform. So as a person, I will be very honest and transparent here, that I was surprised. I was shaken, because here there was someone who was working very hard, growing the ladder from manager's position to senior vice president's position, almost working in the leadership of a multi-millionaire organization. And you are working on strategy for them, and you're doing qualities for them. And suddenly you are told that, okay, the industry has given you this recognition, but we had someone in our company, in our senior white men, didn't get it. So we don't want you to go and receive the award, because that is the only thing that they can do. So yes, like any other human being, I was shaken. I didn't know what to do about it. I lost my strength. I lost my confidence for a week. And at that point of time, it was my family. It was my brother, my sister-in-law, my best friends who stood by me. And they said that what is important? For me, being righteous and having my voice was more important. And a point came where I started getting more recognition. So I kind of found myself unemployed in 2 months. So I'm like, all my life, I'm thinking I'm a corporate material and I can do very well there. Suddenly I'm at this crossroad where I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And suddenly you face a situation where you feel that you've been so successful and you've been an inspiration for so many people, and suddenly you're facing this. So I think that many people are going to face that situation in their life. And I would just tell one thing to them, and I can say this very confidently, because this was the extreme pushback. So I've faced bias many times, but this was the extreme bias. And I think what was important for me at that point of time to say that, okay, what is life trying to teach me? What are the opportunities that I have got right now? And how can I move ahead in my purpose? So I feel at this point of time, you need to stick to what are the things that you love to do. What is your goal? What is your purpose? Focus on that. And maybe there is another way to achieve that. You are believing that this is the only way to achieve my goal. And I think that thanks to my family and friends that I got that space to think that, okay, what it is that I want to do. I want to make a difference. Okay. I want to create designs and I want to make transformations, whether it is business or people's career. I want to make a difference in the healthcare industry, and not necessarily that I have to be in a corporate to do that. Why can't, if I can spend so much energy for the corporate, I can do the same for my own organization. And that's how D Cube Consultancy was born. And in the last 6 months, I've got very good assignments. I'm also now working as a faculty for the INSEAD School of Business. And last 1 year, the opportunities that I have seen, Mr. Yogesh, I kind of realized that universe pushed me to face this bias situation or to face this challenge, because otherwise I would have not seen what I'm seeing in the last 1 year. The opportunities to meet people, to get this most admired, whatever awards, Global Indian, to have one chapter dedicated by a Black woman in the US in her book about women leaders. And she's writing a chapter on my journey. I mean, all this wouldn't have happened if I was in my own cocoon. So I feel that I strongly believe that if you face unconscious bias, you face challenge, you get thrown off, I think that's for another higher achievement that you are designed for.
Wonderful. So mentally, you represent a game called boxing. Okay,
Yeah.
that's you represent a game called boxing. It's
Yes.
called jab, 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 and push. So that's how it is. So I really happy to be a part of the conversation with you. I think it is almost 8, and I don't know. I just did not understand how the time flew in the last 1 hour. So I thank you for coming here from the bottom of my heart. I wish you all the best, and 500% sure that we will be in touch. We will look at what we can add value. Uh, there are few people who know me here. I think few, or maybe just let me check if all people know me. I think most of them, know me. I got the same push when I was 31,
Wow.
and that was the journey of all of this. What is happening right now? So yes, it is important to shake down. Somebody should say shake you down, and it could be anything. It could be environment. It could be people. It could be situation.
Yeah, anything.
The villain can come in any form, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No problems with that.
Yeah.
So,
If you don't mind, there is one small thing that I want to
please go
share
ahead.
if
Ma'am.
I
Please
can.
go ahead. Yeah,
Okay.
please go ahead.
All right. So can I? Okay. How am I able to? Okay, I should be able to share. Give me 1 minute. This is one. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
So I will just leave the team with this thought.
Correct.
So I just want people to be open that, failure is something that you need to learn from it, because always a good judgment will come from the experience. And you get experience only if you have poor judgment, and you're going to take beatings and learnings. So I'll just leave it with that thought.
Wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. Now, thank you very much once again. Mohanji, over to you now.
Yeah, wonderful. Lot of learnings, Deepaji, and we are all extremely happy. One small question.
Sure.
Tell us, we may not be able to understand technically, but there is a curiosity. What is that remotely, managing the cardiac?
Yeah.
Conceptually, you try to share just out of curiosity.
No, absolutely. So whenever we do clinical trials for new medicine, when organizations or pharma company are doing clinical trials for new medicines, like we did for the vaccine. So typically they want to make sure that there is no impact on the heart. When I talked about the cardiac monitoring, so the new medicine should not be impacting the heart negatively. So what we were doing is that sitting in India, in Mumbai and Bangalore, we were reading ECGs and cardiac data from all the sites globally. So we were in a remote location, not at the site in front of the patients, but we were getting the digital signals transmitted over digitally, over the internet from the different sites all over the world. And we used to review that cardiac monitoring. So we used to review that ECG, compare it with the base ECG to make sure that the new medicine or molecule is not impacting the heart negatively. So this lab was like, we had physicians and consulting physicians, like the cardiologist, who were reading the cardiac safety data, which was collected all over the world, and it was sent to India. And we were reporting it back in 4 hours to 48 hours, depending on what was needed.
This is a breakthrough.
It was at that point of time. Now I think we've got.
Now it is, that point of time, it must be a breakthrough.
It was a breakthrough.
Wonderful, wonderful, excellent, excellent. And just quickly, one more question is, tell us something about the Global Recognition Award. What is that?
Right.
You mentioned, we mentioned, but slightly elaborate.
No, absolutely. So in 2019, there is this global organization called Healthcare Businesswomen Association, which has got close to 200 plus corporate pharma and global healthcare organizations who are a part of this NGO. They are based in the US, and they were formed in 1977. And every year they recognize a woman leader. They recognize 2 awards. One is the Luminary and one is the Rising. So the Luminary Award is for that woman who has brought transformative changes in the industry and in their organization. So in 2019, I received the Luminary Award for IQVIA because I brought a lot of transformations in the way we manage cardiac safety business and the way we manage the global delivery for the organization. So that recognition was in 2019 on Times Square in New York City. And I had the pleasure to receive that with other 40 global leaders. So that was definitely very special to me. Then when I started working with them, I was mentoring many people across the industry in the globe. A year came in 2019 where I was mentoring almost 24 men and women leaders in healthcare. And I brought a lot of changes in the way people grew in their career. So I became an expert in career design because I believed that you should work on your strengths. So in the industry, there was a recognition sent. And so in 2020, I got the Pharma Voice 100 most inspiring leader in healthcare. So I was one of the 100 inspiring leaders, which I felt was very coveted. And then last year, I believe that Passion Vista was they did a LinkedIn survey. And they received my name. So they reached out because every year they do a collector's edition where they recognize 50 global Indians and they write there and publish their story into a collector's magazine. So when they recognize that I have been given awards from the world in the West side, but nothing from our own country. So in December, they added me as one of the 50 most global admired Indians. And so I had a cover page and I had an article, and that is the most special because I believe it comes from your own people.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are proud of you, and I am grateful to you and grateful to Tushar Bhai also. Because of him, I got connected to you, and I'm sure we will remain connected forever.
Absolutely.
Now
I will add that, Mohanji, that I feel the support that I get from my family.
Yeah.
And I feel that the first in that is Tushar, that he's been open to whatever I want to do. I have realized that that security that the childhood gave, the parents laid down that. He's never felt threatened with what I'm doing. Instead of that, he's always encouraging. And I mean, this opportunity, he spoke to you about it, and that is why we are here. So I do believe that your family and your friends play a lot of role. And that's why connecting with people is very important. Because it takes a village to grow. You can never do it alone. And I got impressed with Arise because you work on the same principle. So thank you.
True. No, that's where the moment he said, I said immediately, please connect me to her. No, he is not only a good businessman, but he is a nice human being.
Absolutely.
Tushar Bhai, if you can unmute yourself, and would you like to say something about your sister?
Oh, wow.
Tushar bhai, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, now you are. Please.
Hi, Tushar. No,
Hello.
can't hear.
आप
Hello,
बोलिए
yeah.
तुषार भाई.
Yeah, very happy to see my sister leading the whole. I mean, the way she's inspiring me to work the way I'm doing. She's always supporting me for my work too.
Great.
And very lucky to have such sister who is like always with you, and we are moving towards the same goal
True.
for betterment of the society, for the entrepreneurs, and for our business too.
True.
That's it. Yes.
Thanks,
So,
Deepa. Nice, very nice, Deepa.
Thank you, Tushar bhai. Thanks so much for your words. And I wish both of you a wonderful, wonderful career, healthy and wealthy career ahead. And let me ask now from anybody from the audience who would like to say something, who would like to ask something, it is now free to audience. Niranjan, Anand, would you like to ask something? Any of our friends, would you like to say or ask something?
Yeah, Mohanji, it was a wonderful interaction.
Correct.
And a lot of learnings.
Yes.
Thanks, Deepaji, to be our guest today. And we have learned a lot of things. You have been speaking in a very candid way. I think many doubts of many people have been removed from their mind.
I'm glad.
Thank you, Fitri.
Thank you, Niranjan.
Yeah, and now a formality. I will just say thanks to everybody. Thanks to the audience. Thanks to all my friends. Thanks to all trustees. Thanks to my operational team, those who are making all this channel. And thanks to you, grateful to you. And your one comment which I liked, I have noted everything. Normally, I make a PPT out of the learnings, which I will make it.
Wow.
But one comment which I liked very much, I will close on that, is you said, if there is a passion, there is no tiredness. You will enjoy what you do. That is beautiful, beautiful. If there is a passion, you will enjoy everything. So there is no work-life balance as such. So, it is everything is balanced in a way itself.
Yes, it is. That's why, sometimes I get confused. What should I balance? Because I'm enjoying it.
So I can extend this slightly in different words, which you only said, that I think the tiredness and passion cannot coexist.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's very nicely put. Yeah, very nicely put.
So
Thank
wonderful, Deepaji, so nice of you. And thanks to you. Good night, everybody. And thank you for joining once again. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.